Okay, I think we're live. So, hello. We just did the premiere and I see people in the chat. My software is telling me that my connection is not super great. So, hopefully, you guys are hearing me and seeing me. But I'm trying to get the chat box to show up here. And it's currently black. So hold on one second while I welcome as people are coming in. Let me just grab the link to the chat box and see if I can put that on the screen in front of me. So one second. Chat box. Let's replace this link. And it's still not showing your guys' chat. That is so strange. Okay. Well, that's okay. You know what? I will just delete the chat box. So anyway, welcome. You can see me and hear me. Oh, good. Thank you so much. And if you've been to my other live stream post video premieres, I have the music also playing in the background. Will you just kind of tell me if that is too loud for you and I can turn it down or I can turn it up, but it's just kind of nice to have that playing in the background. So thank you guys for coming to the premiere. And I have two monitors, so if you see me looking over here, it's because I have a second monitor that I'm looking at. So let me know. I would love to hear, first of all, I would love to hear your thoughts on the video, but I was going to say thank you to those who were in the chat during the video premiere, because I did get a lot of lovely feedback from the people in the chat. So thank you for that. Hi, I see Sean and Cass and Michelle and Deborah and Nick and James. Thanks for being here, you guys. So how this is going to work is I would love to hear feedback, or if you have questions about the music or the video, let's talk about that. I know some of you have been to Scotland and been to some of these locations, and I would love to hear maybe what you thought of the locations, if you've been there or not, if you haven't been there. And then I'm going to try and end this probably after about 20 minutes or so, because then at 10:15 I'm doing the premiere for the behind the scenes, and the behind the scenes was a lot of effort to put together. It was just so much footage to go through, and I also talk extensively about the song and why I wrote it. And for those who don't know, over the past few years I've also been documenting the whole process of making this album. And so I have a lot of documentary footage of me actually in the moments of writing the music. So I have, I'll include some of that in the behind the scenes as well. So can't hear any background music. Okay, that's okay too, but let me just check to see. Dun, 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 dun. Song. Yeah, that's so weird. It says it's not playing. Well, let me just figure that out really quick. That's because I didn't have it on a loop. Let me see if it's going to work now. Can you hear it now? You probably can hear it now. I actually can't hear it on my end because I just hear the my microphone. But hi, I see more people coming in. Noreen and Beverly. Okay, you can hear it now. Yeah, okay, great. So just let me know if it's too loud or annoying and I can turn it down. I have it at like a negative 35 dB, but I can also turn it down more. So yeah, this video was really a little scary for me to put out, because as you guys know, I'm primarily a pianist and violinist and composer, and I don't normally sing. There's a whole story of why I'm singing on this. I didn't think I was gonna sing on it. I wrote the song for choir and solo voice, and I wrote it to heal myself through my own journey, but and I'll go into that in the behind the scenes, but I ended up singing on it, which took a lot of effort because I'm not someone, I sung in high school, I have a choir voice, but I definitely am not a soloist. and being in the professional music world and knowing that there are so many singers out there that do this professionally and sing way better than me, it was very intimidating for me to put my voice out there. So I'm just really grateful for the reception and for, you know, longtime fans being open to me doing something new. I think it's very hard sometimes to do something new that's out of your comfort zone. So thank you for that. James says, I haven't been there. Speaking of Scotland, I love your video. It really tells a story that one can imagine, just beautiful in every way. Oh, good, good, good. Thank you for that. So I'm just going to kind of talk a little, I'm going to try, and whatever we talk about here today, I'm going to try and keep that separate from the behind the scenes. So the behind the scenes is still new for you guys. So what I'm going to just talk to you today is just, I'm just going to go through just kind of some of the filming stuff. Like here we are. Will took this picture of me in Scotland. This is Edinburgh. And, oh, and by the way, I just want to say I'm wearing my family tartan. This is in Durfort. This is the Lindsay. In the video, I'm wearing that red plaid skirt, and that is the Lindsay tartan, which is my grandpa's family. And then also my grandma, his wife, her father, is also Scottish, the Sutherland family. So, and I'm wearing a plaid skirt today, but it's not my family tartan, but just wanted to wear some plaid. But this is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a year since I've been to Edinburgh, but I believe this is Victoria Street, where they just have all these really colorful buildings. And another cool thing walking around Edinburgh is the bagpipers. Can you guys hear the bagpiper? That was really fun. We just basically walked around and drove around all of Scotland and filmed things. We didn't really have like a set plan, but just I kind of knew what the shots I wanted. Like I really wanted a cliffside shot over the ocean, but we didn't know where we were going to get that. Here's me in front of the bagpiper guy. He was so nice. I got a picture with him as well. I don't know, like bagpipes can be really beautiful, but also like very like jolting as well. But there's something very like raw and emotional about bagpipes that I love. We also stayed in some really interesting places. This was actually a castle Airbnb that we stayed in. This was the room that we ate breakfast in. It was kind of cool. That castle was, I don't know, like we stayed in a lot of old places. And I remember like after this castle, because the owner was telling us about like haunted ghost stories. After that, I was like, okay, I need to stay in something that's no more than 50 years old. So the next night we got a hotel that was actually pretty new, and it was just nice for a change. But let me put up one more picture, and then I'm gonna go back to your comments. This is my husband Will. He does my cinematography. I edit the videos and he does the cinematography. He has a great eye for the shots, and he's really good at what he does. Beautiful men in kilts, can't go wrong, right? Also, like, I'm an Outlander fan. I don't know if any of you guys watched Outlander. We didn't actually go visit any of the Outlander places except for the Highlands. And now when I watch some of the Outlander episodes back, I actually recognize some of the places. I'm like, oh yeah, that looks totally familiar now, which is kind of fun. Hey everyone. I can't hear the music now, but your voice is in all the music. Oh, can hear music now. Okay, awesome. All these shots are amazing. Thank you, Beverly. Nick, I'd never seen some of the video locations. Scotland is full of wild beauty. Yeah. And also, like, the color grading job that Ryan McNeil did on this just really brought out, like, so much of the beauty around Scotland. He actually, some of the cliffside shots in the Isle of Skye were actually, the grass was actually more brown, like, kind of dry. It was actually in April that we filmed, and he just really brought out a lot of the greens and just made it so beautiful. In fact, here's me on the hillside walking through cow pies to get to that cliff, which I don't like. sharp, high edges, which is super scary for me. Yes, Outlander. We have an Outlander fan. What else? Yeah, here's the shot, one of the stills from the video of me up on that cliffside. I'm not afraid of heights, but I have a fear of falling, and so like I can stand on a really tall building, but if there's a guardrail, like I have no fear. But when there's nothing preventing me from falling, I will freak out, like go into the fetal position and have a panic attack. And this spot that I was standing on up here, if you saw like the very opening shot of the drone over me, I was like walking up towards it. I got as close as I could without like losing my balance, but even, I mean, I still had like 5 feet before the edge, but I was like, I just remember kind of freaking out, and I had a really hard time concentrating. Did you try haggis when you were there? I tried it and found it to be, this is Michelle. Michelle McLaughlin also is an amazing composer. You guys have to check out her music, or I'm sure you're familiar with it. I found it to be really delicious, but a lot of people who are used to it who aren't used to it don't like it. Yeah, I actually tried a lot of haggis. And I actually thought it was pretty good. There is, I don't know if I put it on here, but this is actually a shot of us this is after we shot the white dress shot at an Indian food restaurant in Stonehaven, which is where Dunnottar Castle is. And the reason we went to an Indian restaurant is because we had so much haggis and so much English, like the Scottish breakfast, which is so heavy compared to normally what we eat. Every day it was just like so much food, and at this point we were like, we can't have any more haggis, we need something else. So we went and had Indian food, which was actually really, really good. Plaid skirts so suit you. Why is that? Must be a Scottish DNA. Thank you. Actually, so the tartan that I wore in the video is from Scotland. It's an actual real kilt. It's actually a more updated kilt because it's short. Usually they're much longer, and usually kilts are just for men, but they do have now obviously like kilts for women. And that one was just really a pain to put on, honestly, because I had to wrap it around so many times, and there were like 1,000 buttons and snaps on it, but it was really fun to wear. Was it tough to get no people in the background? Yes, it was. In fact, when we were shooting at, so the other castle in the shot with the red plaid is Eilean Donan, and that is one of the most photographed castles in the world. And it was so hard. This is Will shooting me on the bridge. You can see all the people. And yeah, it was just, and I show a little bit of that in the behind the scenes later too, but like it was really hard because you can't tell people to like get out of your way, you know, and everyone is photographing, and it's just, you just kind of have to wait for your turn. We actually, it started getting dark, and then most of the tourists were gone, and like here you can see the castle lights turned on, and most of the tourists had gone home because I believe the castle tours closed at like 4 or 5. And at that time, it seems like a lot of professional photographers showed up. So there was us with our nice camera, and then like 2 or 3 other professional photographers. And I think we all had the same idea, like waiting for the people to go away so we can actually get some really good shots. And we were all just really polite to each other because we knew we wanted shots. So basically we all just took turns and would let one person on the bridge and do their photography, and then let the next photographer have a turn. So we weren't like, we were just like being professionally polite to each other, which was really nice. So some of the shots at the very end with the castle lit up is from those. Agreed about the bagpipes. Yeah, Sean. Beautiful video, a very personal piece. Yeah, it is. Thank you for noticing that. We took a lot of drone shots as well, and this is Will in the car. We had a rental car, and we would just put the drone on the roof and just like sit in the car and take drone footage. You can, I don't know if you guys can see actual on his screen, he's doing the ocean shots right there. And I love the UK for how drone friendly they are, because in the US it's not that way. In fact, we just last weekend or earlier this week, we were trying to get some drone shots for my upcoming video for Pirates Cove, and we went out to Pirates Cove to film some drone shots, and we could not get our drone to take off because apparently sorry, I'm getting a buffering poor internet message. Hopefully you guys that's not affecting you, but we couldn't even get our drone to take off because of the government restrictions on the area. Apparently it's like a submarine pathway for the military, and so we couldn't fly there. But like usually most places we go, we always have issues flying drone here in the US because people just hate drones. But it was just really nice to film around Scotland and England, and they were pretty drone friendly. In fact, I think I have yeah, this is me in front of, so by the way, so at Dunnottar, we shot all those shots after it had closed, which that's kind of the rule with the drone. Like you can't see on this shot, but they actually have on that sign over to the right a little bit, it has a little thing that says you're welcome to fly your drone. It just has to be after closing hours, which is like, whew, perfect. You would never see that in the US. And so yeah, after all the people would go away and the castle was closed, we got those nighttime drone shots. But we never actually got to tour the castle because it was closed and we could only film after it was closed. So on the very last day we drove back to Dunnottar, and this was Will and I. We just finally got to go into the castle and take a little tour, which was really fun. Here's me in front of Dunnottar. Also, I don't know if you guys know, but all of the castles in Scotland have the word Dun in front of it, and it's it just means fort. So Dunnottar, Dunrobin, they all have Dun, which is just fort, blah blah blah, whatever it's called. But I think the combination of music and the video go really well together. It's a great visual story. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, Sean, I also do have a great respect for high heights. I was nervous for you seeing you so close to the edge. Yeah, I was nervous for me too. Good, there was no fighting over shot priority. Yes. How do you find out about the drone restrictions? In the US or in the UK? In the US, so when we get our drone to fly out, it'll actually tell you on the software. It has like a GPS map, and it'll say there's flight restrictions. Sometimes, like if you think it's incorrect, you can override it and you can still fly your drone. But like when it's military, like the other day when we were trying to fly over like a submarine area, it like literally just won't let your phone fly. Like you can't take off. It just shuts it down, which was really frustrating. And you can like bypass that, but you have to you have to fill out all these forms and send it off to the government and say that you're legit and you're not trying to like spy or whatever, and like state your reasons. And it's like a big old process. But obviously we didn't do that. They wouldn't let you fly your drone for cherry blossom in London. That makes sense if you're in the city. Obviously, like they probably have a lot of flight restrictions, but it seemed to be like most of the places out in the countryside, they were pretty drone friendly, which was so nice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, this is just from the behind the scenes. Yeah. So in about 10 or 15 minutes, I guess it's like 13 minutes from now, I am going to premiere the behind the scenes from this. It's to just kind of let you know what's in that. I do go into I have shots of me recording in my studio. A lot of the shots are from 2022, I think. And if you've followed my behind the scenes from my previous videos, I talk a lot about like the really hard, difficult journey that I went on during all of this. And sometimes like going back and reviewing this footage is hard for me, but I think it's important to include. And so I actually include like all the real footage This was recording at Abbey Road with the orchestra. And then also, of course, we recorded the choir. And I show, in the behind the scenes, I show a lot of the recording session with the choir. And then I'll show you just a quick little behind the scenes preview. So this, before I show this to you, this clip that I'm going to show you is from the behind the scenes that's coming up in about 10 minutes. And this actually, so in 2022, my co-producer Glenn Gabriel, he's from Stockholm, Sweden, and he came out to visit, and we spent about a week working on Oceans, and we pretty much at that point were finished with the album, but then I wrote this song with my voice, and so it was very like last minute, like I wasn't planning on it going on the album, but I played my demo for Glenn when he was here, and so this is just a little clip from, because we filmed a lot when he was here, and so we just had a camera rolling when we were having this conversation, and so this is actually real footage. I'll just show you just a tiny clip of that. So I've been working on a vocal piece. Okay. That's why I had this out. I was recording vocals the other night. Hopefully you guys can hear the audio. So I wrote this poem. It's really short. It's just, you carried me home through the storm, sheltered me from rain, wiped my tears, took out my pain. You brought me to shore, calmed the sea. You carried me home, you are home to me. Oh, wow. And it's kind of like, so you know the Lighthouse song? I wrote that when like we were going through all this crazy stuff. Yeah. And this is kind of like the bookend, kind of like closing the chapter on everything. Anyway, so there's a lot more. I don't want to spoil the behind the scenes too much, but I always get pretty personal and vulnerable in those more than I do anywhere else. So I hope that you'll stick around in a couple minutes and watch that if you have time. That'd be great. And so I'm just gonna like read through those are all the pictures that I prepared. But yeah, I'm gonna read through your comments too, and if there's anything I missed or questions or whatever, I'm just gonna read through this. Oh, that's my husband in the comments, Will. He says, I did have to get certified as a drone pilot in the UK. It took about 5 hours of classes. Oh, good to know. I totally forgot that he had to do that. Thanks, babe. They gave us permission before the shoot day, but then said no on the day. Oh, no way. That sucks. I'm sorry. Beverly, love all this real footage you are sharing. Thank you. James, I love listening to you, and your voice is, oh, my little heart icon is covering up some of your words. Your voice is of an angel. Oh, that is so nice of you. Thank you. Let me just see if Darcy Donovan. During the end credits, appears you slip on the path. I'm glad you left that in. Did you ever lose your footing for some of the shoots? Yeah, I had to walk through a lot of cow poop to get through that pasture, and it was on the cliffside, and I'm like, as soon as I finish the shots, I'm out of here. But I didn't lose my footing, but so I'm just not used to like singing to a camera either. That was really difficult. But yeah, I would get my footing and position my feet so they wouldn't go anywhere, and I was concentrating more on my feet and keeping my balance than anything else. So I never actually like slipped or fell on the hillside. But oh my gosh, though, on my film shoot for A Beautiful Storm, I played the violin on a cliffside with a drop to the ocean, and I actually did almost slip on that, and I have the footage in the behind the scenes from that. And my husband was filming it, and you can hear in his voice, he was like, what? He was like freaking out, like, oh, don't you dare go down the hillside. But oh man, so many things you do to get the epic shot, right? At least as an independent artist, or like in real film crews, they have like stunt doubles or protective things, like they strap you in so you can't fall. But not when you're just guerrilla shooting. So okay, well, thank you guys all for being here. It really means a lot to have your support. Oh, somewhat unrelated, but just want to compliment on your studio framed decor. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't really see. Let me see if I can wiggle my camera up there. I have my album albums framed and some of my awards and red carpet things back there, which is fun. Anyway, okay. Well, if there isn't anything else, I just want to thank you guys for being here. And in about 6 minutes, the behind the scenes is going to premiere. So go get a drink of water and come back, and hopefully I will see you guys there. I'll be in the chat there, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, bye.